this computer. And I'm muting.
Hi, everyone. We're going to just take a couple of minutes here and get everybody in the room, or as many people in the room as possible. We're about a minute out. Hi, welcome.
Hello, hello.
Welcome. So, hi, Kim. I haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're well.
Yes.
Delisa, you're new. Is it Delisa or Deliza with an E? Lisa? Okay. Gotcha. Nice to meet you. Hi, Daniel. Hi,
Hey,
Ruth.
Tanya.
Hi.
Hi. Lots of new faces. So we have about 15 people today, which is pretty good, and everybody's going to get a card, and there's going to be lots of good stuff, but I want to try to get as many people in the room as possible, so you guys have a better experience. Some of you may not use Zoom all the time, so we're going to do a couple little things here at the beginning to see if everybody can't have a really good experience. Hello, hi David.
How are you today?
Wonderful. How are you today?
Doing great. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Hi, Dee.
Hey.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hello.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Well, thanks. How are you?
Wonderful. Good to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
I'm so glad that you guys have your names in here. That helps me so much. Oh, there we go. Hi, Linda.
Hey.
Hi, Terry.
Hello. Hey,
Like
Teresa. Hi, Delisa.
Hello. Hey, David.
How are you?
I'm good.
I made it. It made me do the update, so I thought I was going to be late.
I hate that. It always gives me a heart attack, especially like right before something like this. I'm like, are you
Yes.
kidding me right now? I was just on yesterday. What did you do that was so important? All right. Okay, it's a couple of minutes after. There's some more people that should be joining. So I just want to go over a couple of things. Uh, First of all, I just want to start off that I'm really drawn to build community. So if you would start with gallery view on and take a look around, because this is your soul family, or at least part of the soul family. And that's what I call my mailing list. With the main mailing list, my general mailing list is my soul family. And I feel like it's important, especially in today's time, that we are building community around people who lift us and support us and share our joy and our belief systems. And so, and not just belief systems around spirituality, please, but belief systems around all of it. Ooh, bless you, darling. Bless you. We have allergies going crazy here in Sedona, so I don't know if you're here, but like
Yes.
I've got tissues ready. It's crazy. And so I grew up with a real community. I grew up in a farm, and we had multiple farms all around us. And once a year, my neighbors and everybody would sit down, and we would plan gardens. Who was going to grow this and who was going to grow that? And then we all canned together and froze things together, and then we all shared in the surplus, all winter long. So harvest season is one of my favorite seasons, and I feel like we have a whole new wonderful way to do that now using technology. Where it was once the person that was next door, now it's literally the person that comes in online with us. So as people are coming in, I just want you to take a look around, because this is a safe space. As long as you are not hurting anyone or marginalizing yourself or anyone else, this is the place for you. And I want you to feel safe, and whatever joy or empowerment or emotions come up as we go through this evening, because everybody's going to get a card. I love it when I have smaller groups because I can make sure that everybody gets a card pull. We'll have some general energies, and I listen to you. I promise. I had so much feedback on this last email that as we move into what's going on and the energies for May and what we left in April. Whew, what April? Whew, crazy.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit crazy, at least on my end. Hi, Andrea. So I'm going to go over some things that were requested, and I'm adding those into our monthly experiences. So thank you for being here. Say hi to everybody, and then if you want, you're more than welcome to just put it on me if that makes you feel better and you don't want to be looking around at all the other people and what other people are saying. It helps me for you to leave your video on, so when I call and ask questions and I ask things of you, that I see you, but you don't have to see everyone else if you don't want to. I just want to be real clear. On that note, I want to make sure that you stay in the room with me. And what I mean by that is I'm the same way. I love to take notes. What's happening? What can I do? What's the next big deal? Right? You're more than welcome to do that, free will. But I'm going to put this video up on a private link on YouTube as soon as I possibly can, hopefully tonight or early in the morning tomorrow, and you can revisit then and watch it and take all the notes. What I would love for you to do is just be part of this with me and take in what resonates with you today, and then when you listen to it again, what resonates with you when you listen to it again, because I guarantee it will be different. You will not hear everything that comes out today. It just, our brains can't do it. This beautiful CPU unit that we get to carry around on top of our shoulders can't take in all of the information. It only is going to be able to take in what is meant for us right now. And your guides are never going to show me anything that they don't want me to know. I'm never ever going to leave you hanging. So if you don't understand, please I'll give you some tips and tricks. We'll see if we can't get to the bottom of it. And as we move along and I give you some spells and some rituals for what's happening right now and give you some ideas of what we just came through, man, validation is a beautiful thing, not just for me, but for all of us. Okay, hi, Blue. Nice to see you. So I recognize many, many faces. I know where I know many of you from. I know some of you have come as recommendations from other people that are in the room, and I appreciate you being here. My sole goal, I just went and had a conversation with my branding agent a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, why are you doing this? And I said, because I want to empower people. I'm just tired of us being in victimhood all the time. I want us to step up and take care of one another. And I think that resonates with many of us right now as we've stepped into the divine feminine in December of 2020. We're in a whole new timeline now. Things that you did before might not work as well, which is great. I hate running faster and jumping higher and competing with people. It's my nightmare. I want everybody to win. I'm one of those people. Like, great, you made a movie. It sucks, but it's still a movie. It's way more than I've ever done. I'm totally in. How can I support you in that, right? Not only that, that's how great art is created and new movement comes through us, right? There's no artist or creative or person who's done anything on this planet that was told not to do it first. So my gift works through story. It's already started. I don't know why we're talking about this part of the conversation. It's not on my little list of talking points at all. So I just want to let you know they're already kind of talking, and they kind of channel through me in ways that make me laugh like that. So I hope that resonated with you. And I've been using this background a little bit because for the last couple of readings because it's been resonating with people. I'm missing someone. Hold on. To those of you who are invisible, I love you. Thank you for being here. Let me just see if I'm missing anybody. Hi, Cobra. I didn't know you were here. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Hi, girl. There is lots and lots and lots of immaculate and impeccable talent in this space with us today. So just soak it all in, because we're all part of it and we're all one thing and we're all sharing that projection for each of us. So my goal is to make this an uplifting event for you and for you to leave feeling a little starry-eyed and like you're ready to go and do something really amazing. And if you've had a reading with me before, then you know what that feels like. And I'll have some stories to share with you as we move through. Uh, but one of the main requests that I had in my email that I sent out in April was, and this happened a lot, so I had a lot of you answer the survey, thank you. But many of people wrote back and said more of this rituals and spell work and how do we work with the elements and how do we tap into things in this 3D reality that we're living in, right? And I call it the 3D or the tangible universe. And those of you who got that email and responded, thank you. If you did not get the email, you can go to my Facebook page. I'll get it up on my website soon. I just finished my website, y'all, so it was a lot of work. Please go look at it. I would appreciate it. The recommendations page is just for you. I don't own none of that. Those people are just my peoples. And those are the people that I go to and help me out. And some of them are right here in this room. So please don't hesitate to go to that recommendations page. Watch the films, read the books, interact with the people that are listed there. I guarantee that your world will be different after you do so, because these are things that put me on my life path. And I went back as far as I could remember of the books that it started me out on my path. Things like How to Win Friends and Influence People. And if you haven't read that book, please go get it and hang on to it, because it will serve you in so many ways that are not business, that have zero to do with anything other than being a wonderful human being. And they still hold up today. Okay, so we're going to start with a little ritual, a little spell that you can do at home. So my mother taught me a lot passively. There was never Tanya sitting on the beautiful countertop and her like, oh, honey, this is how you make whatever. It was none of that. It was me watching and paying attention and her not explaining anything until I said, what are you doing? And then there might be some really blatant answer. So if you read my email, you know that she had what she called a smoke pot in the kitchen all the time, which now I know is just saging or smudging in a consistent basis, right? And she used different herbs and she would throw things into the fireplace. We had a fire going all the time, summer and winter usually, because she said it cleared the air. And we do know that smudging does do that. She also, during special times, would do something called a simmer pot. And so a simmer pot, I don't know how many of you all are my age, it looks like a lot of you, but simmer pots are like potpourri pots. I don't remember those back in the 80s where it was like a little crock pot and you could put water and these pretty disgusting flower petals in because they were chemically laden, right? Somebody gave my mom some once and she was like, oh my God, no, don't even burn those. Just throw those away. They need to be, oh my gosh, buried. Like those are terrible. Like, don't do that. But she would create a simmer pot. Like Christmas time was a big time for her to do a simmer pot. Right now, May 1st is tomorrow. That is May Day. If you're into paganism or up in the Irish and Scottish traditions, we're talking about Beltane. This is the height of spring today and tomorrow. And as we move through the rest of this week, we're moving into a 5-5 portal, which is the portal of I'm changing things up and I deserve better things. And we're also moving into a new moon in Taurus on the 8th. Now, I do have Daniel here, who's an astrologer, so please feel free to correct me if I get something wrong, Daniel. I appreciate your love. And as we go through this evening, if there's any questions or anything that you want to know more about, don't hesitate to ask. If there's something you agree with, nodding and snapping and all that, that's really great validation for me. Thank you. We're going to talk a little about simmer pots. Basically, it's a little bit of water and a whole bunch of really good herbs. And you just simmer them on your stove, or if you're lucky enough, like I have a teeny tiny little like 8-ounce crock pot. And you use the simmer pot with intention. So right now, I'm going to make one later on today or tomorrow morning that has orange and lemon slices in it and water, right? Because I would like some fruitful abundance, please, right? Get that? And with all magic, it's about intention. I'm just giving you items to use that add to the intention that helps solidify that in. So does that make sense for everybody?
Yes.
Is this something that you're excited about, or do you want me to move on? People are excited. Okay, good. All right. So some sort of fruit, right? Preferably spring fruit. Lemons and oranges are really, really good. Cinnamon, prosperity, sweetness, high vibration. Cinnamon is was at once a very, very expensive spice, and it was used all over the world in the spice trade, and it made many, many people wealthy. So you put cinnamon in your pot, right? Maybe a little honey. Maybe you want some sweetness, and we're going to talk a little bit about bee balm or Melissa's balm in a minute. So honey would be good. Salt for protection, right? Salt for putting boundaries up, salt for cleansing. And I will probably throw in a little rosemary because I think rosemary is one of those really good things to add to anything because it amplifies the power of all the other things that it's put with. Not only that, it creates a lot of clarity in the brain, okay? Then I'm going to tell you about my favorite herb, and this is something you may not have known about. So most people have never even heard of lemon balm. Does anybody here know what lemon balm is? Kathleen, yes. Blue, yes. A few of you. Okay. It's my personal favorite herb. It is a member of the mint family, but it doesn't taste like mint at all. It's an incredibly light flavor. It's a little citrusy. It grows like a weed. So if you decide to plant it somewhere, be aware that it will kill everything else because it will choke everything else out because it is a member of the mint family. And you can know things that are members of the mint family because the stem is square in most cases, right? So if you pick it up, you can feel it. It's like a square. So lemon balm, I grew up with it growing around our front porch. We had a farmhouse and it had a pretty substantial front porch. My mother would plant it all along the front porch, and of course, she never had to plant it again because it's a weed and it just takes off. And she said, "Oh, I always put that there because it calms the energy of the people coming into the front door of the house." We do know that lemon balm is medically is an incredible relaxant and anti-anxiety herb. And what they make your SSRIs or your antidepressants out of is based on the molecular structure of lemon balm. Okay, so I took some notes because I know what it's about, but I want to go through because there were some things in here that I didn't know about, and I love learning new things. So why wouldn't I pass that on, right? It creates calm, but it also creates focus in the calm, so it doesn't demotivate you. It actually motivates you to move on with things. It is anti-inflammatory, but anti-inflammatory in the gut system in particular. So if you're dealing with things like IBS, lemon balm is an incredible herb to take as a tea or to grind it up. I use it a lot of times, finely ground after I've dried it, and I'll put it in my morning smoothie, like a teaspoonful in my morning smoothie. Okay, so it also unlocks the creative mind. It opens up the vascular system, and that gets into the brain and causes blood to flow in the brain and allows you to be even more creative than you already are. So lemon balm is this, I mean, it's magic, right? It's also said to create attractiveness. So if you're looking for new friends or new love or romance in your life, it's there to strengthen relationships, make you magnetic, attracting only the positive and repelling all of the negative. I love that. And it is said to be feminine. It represents the moon and Venus and the number 8. So I don't know where these things come from, y'all, but I look them up and I find that that makes sense to me. And if it resonates with me, then I'm going to repeat it. If it does not, I'm never going to repeat it. I don't know who makes this stuff up. I think it's pretty amazing. And if we all believe it, then it creates magic, and then that magic goes on to create other magic. And that's how it all starts. I didn't make this world up. I just showed up in it. Now I got to figure out how to work, right? In the parameters that are already here. So if somebody says that lemon balm represents the number 8, and that's my number, I'm totally going to go with it. You see how magic works? That's how it works, okay? We make it so much harder, but it's really easy. So it also allows us to release old attachments and renew attachments that serve us. So if you have old friends that come back and you realize that you're both on the same page or all on the same page, maybe share some lemon balm tea because then you will be open to receive even more clarity and more connection with your people, right? So I'm also going to add lemon balm into my simmer pot, right? Because it's a perfect spring item, a perfect spring herb to put in to my simmer pot over May 1st and tonight, and put my intentions in that simmer pot. And that's the big part. As we move into this new moon coming up next week on the 8th, so yes, it's on the 8th in an 8 year, we have a new moon in Taurus, which I also believe resonates with the number 8. Daniel, can you check my math on that? I feel like I read that somewhere. Yes? So Taurus also, so we got a whole lot of 8s and 5s in the next few days. And that's all about manifestation, clearing out karmic cycles, bringing in new things that we really want, and truly bringing into the tangible all the things we've really been working on manifesting in our minds and our hearts, seeing it show up in the tangible world. So whatever you released in April, and I know for many of the people that I've been working with, me included, April was a doozy. April, I was ready to just rip all my hair out and run for my life, right? Like I was like, what is going on? And fortunately, I have a lot of people around me that I can reach out to that put me back on track. And I hope that you do too. I hope there are people that let you be you and say all your weirdness the way that I get to say all my weirdness and never have anybody question it, right? And if you don't, please send me an email. I will support you. I understand what it's like to be that kind of wild child and having new dreams and thoughts that nobody else is having. So I'm here to support you in that. So as we move through, especially starting tomorrow through this next week or so into this new moon energy, set your intentions over your summer pot, because new moons are all about intention setting. Full moons are all about releasing whatever the blocks are to that intention that you set so it can come into reality for you. And so I have, aside from the summer pot, a couple of things that you can do with lemon balm and a little ritual that you can do next week around the new moon that will help you solidify and bring some new things in. Okay, am I going too fast? Is everybody good? Because I could just like, buzz right through these, okay? All right, so I'm just going to quickly talk about what you can do with lemon balm. You can grow this, you can buy it. Please, know that it's really grows like a weed. So honestly, if you just dropped a sprig in a pot, in a week, it'll be 100 sprigs in that pot. And in a month, the pot will be bursting. It's just, you don't have to, I try to give people something that they can give back good to the earth. So maybe you can go and source your own lemon balm, and that'll connect you into earth energy, because Taurus is an earth sign. And we're going to be moving into that energy, right? We're in fiery energy. We've been in fiery energy in Aries, and now we're in Taurus, and things are crazy. Okay, but we're grounding down. Things are good. So here's a couple of things you can do with lemon balm. Carry a leaf, just like a fresh leaf. You can wrap it up in a napkin and put it in your wallet or your pocket. And it says it'll attract love and strengthen whatever relationships that you have around the vibration. Everything has a vibration. Will allow you to meet people where they are, and so there won't be any disagreements. So it'll strengthen the relations and communications that you have. If you drink lemon balm tea, and it's a beautiful, if you've ever had white tea, it's very similar. It's real soft, real subtle. So it will clear any negativity. It will boost your motivation. And it will also allow you to have a really, really good night's sleep, or you can bathe in it. I do that a lot. You can take, you can buy them, but I just take muslin cloth and throw a bunch in it and tie it off and throw it in my bathtub. Let it brew like I would a normal tea, and then I get in, because your skin is an organ, and your skin is the perfect filter to allow your body to receive nutrients. And you have this, right, like underneath the dermis is an oily layer, and that's where your nervous system ends, in your epidermis, okay? And if you don't keep your skin filled with fat, those electric impulses cannot meet each other. Lemon balm has a lot of oil in it, so if you were to bathe in lemon balm tea, I promise it will not stain your skin in any way. It's very, very light. You will take that in, and it will help feed that fat layer underneath your skin and help your electric pulses, your nervous system, meet itself. It'll help you. It'll heal you. Okay? So take a bath in it, drink tea. You can smudge, of course. That's one of my favorite things to raise your vibe. to raise other people's vibes, to create connectedness, and to relax a situation. My mother was a country music singer, and one of the things she would do was roll up lemon balm, dried lemon balm in cigarettes, and she would go into meetings with these producers and she would burn them. Like she was smoking them. She wouldn't smoke them or inhale. She would just pretend, because back in the 80s and late 70s, smoking and everywhere was normal. And so it would help her calm everybody down so she could have better negotiations, right? My mother was a very, very smart cookie. She put a lot of her own belief systems in everything that she did. You just had to kind of pay attention to what she was doing because she wasn't going to talk about it very much, right? And then, of course, plant it around your front door so the people that come in your front door get a relaxed vibe, right? It's great for animals too. It's really good for animals. So you can chop it up in a salad, like I feed it to my dogs in their food, and they just don't know they're getting it. It's fabulous. So those are just some things that you can do with lemon balm, and I would highly recommend that you get some. Keep it around. I use it for everything. It's always in my house. I have a whole patch of it growing up back. And if you have any more questions around lemon balm, they call it Sweet Melissa and Bee Balm because I did not know this. This was amazing. I almost forgot to tell you. Lemon balm replicates or mimes the bee pheromones. So bees love it. It's called bee balm, and beekeepers would keep lemon balm around their beehives because it kept their hives calm. So I did not know that. The whole pheromone thing was very amazing for me. So I'm just going to say it again. Lemon balm is one of my favorites. I highly recommend that you keep it around. Are there any questions around lemon balm? Because I'm going to give you a little something else to do for the new moon. Kathleen's good? Okay, I thought that was a raised hand. Okay. Yay, score. Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk. So we've talked a little bit about simmer pots, and please do it. It'll make your house smell amazing at the very least. And you don't even have to know what it's doing. You can just enjoy whatever the outcome is of the people that come in your house and say, wow, your house smells amazing. Yes, it surely does. Thank you. Do you have a check for me? Are you nice? Do you want to offer me a contract? Are we going to fall in love? Like all the things, right? Like you can that's what magic is all about. So as we move into this 5/5 portal coming up at the end of the week and into this new moon in Taurus, I say that rituals are exactly what humanity really survives on. Think about it. It's all around us all the time. Rituals, celebrating the same holidays every year, right? Doing the same things. Humans really, really love doing the same thing over and over again. It makes us feel calm and cool and collected. So may I recommend doing something with either the new moon or the full moon or both, or all the moons if you're really into it. But you don't have to make any of your rituals complicated. In fact, the less complicated you make things, the better they are and the easier they work because you don't have any resistance to it. If you feel like you have to gather up a whole bunch of stuff and you got to say a whole bunch of things and they have to be said this many times and you have to touch it I'm already done. There's no way I'm doing it. Just forget it. Like that just feels like a lot of work when I want to have fun, right? So if it's not fun, don't do it. And if it is fun, please do it more. That's the whole point of living. Okay, it's super easy. My dad gave me that advice when he was teaching me how to ride horses when I was a little girl. I didn't understand what it meant. As an adult, it has a whole different meaning. I could tell you now, I'm never going to do anything that I don't want to do. There's not enough time in my life for me to do things that I don't want to do anymore. I am not going to pacify or caretake other people ever again because it only hurts them and me because it takes their lesson away and it lowers my energy. So there's a lesson for us all. If it feels good, do it more. If it doesn't feel good, just stop doing it. I promise when you do any sort of ritual or spell or anything like this, your guides already know what you're asking for. What they're trying to do is figure out the best way to give you what you want. But you can't say yes to the things you really don't want because they're just going to give you more of that thing because they're up there partying because you said yes to what you already got. Does that make sense? Everybody on the same page, right? they can't feel anything. They just see you saying yes, and then they get excited for you, and they're like, oh my God, she really loved that jerk ball I sent her. Let's send her another 10 of those and see if she loves those just as much. Right? Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't trade any of the jerk balls I've ever dated because, boy, the stories that I can tell now are amazing. And I wouldn't trade any of those stories for anything because they're all life experiences and I got to have that experience. However, some of them would have been nice if I had just like jumped over them and moved on to the next jerk ball who was a little less weird, right? Or whatever. So don't say yes unless you really, really, really want it. And please know that if you do say yes and you get in the middle of it and you don't like it, you can choose again. You are not obligated to anyone but you. Ever. I don't care who it is. I think I've told a couple of you this, so for those of you who've heard this story, you can close your ears. But I told Jeff Bezos to suck my dick when I was 28 years old. I was like, I'm fucking done with your shit. I'm out. You owe me $180,000. Find another truck. I'm done. Give me all my keys and shit back. I got to get out of your building. Like, I was so pissed. Well, you know, whoever his subservient was came running down the highway or the hallway with the check, right? It was that moment that I knew that I had power. And if I stood up and I stood in my power, that I was always going to have my needs met, right? I didn't deserve to be treated the way I was being treated. So that right now is a hot number for all of us, right? I don't care. Everybody puts their pants on the same way I do, one leg at a time. Well, unless you're My Morning Jacket's lead singer, and they did a great cartoon of him jumping into his pants, and that's a whole different story. But, you know, I don't think that many of us are jumping into our pants both legs at the same time. Okay, I think all of us are bleeding the same color, and we deserve to be honored for that. So, for your rituals, any of them, please do them because you love them. So, if you ever want to work with moon energy, water is a great place to start because the moon is water. The moon pulls the tides. We are 98% water. Of course, we feel it when the moon is changing. Tap in. Notice what is going on as we go through these moon cycles. Now, if you really want to get all jiggy with it, you can go, oh my God, it's an earth. It's a water image, the moon, in an earth sign, Taurus. So maybe I should add something about earth in, a leaf, a stick, a rock, right? Maybe I want to be outside when I do this, when I meditate or whatever. You don't have to. You can literally take a glass of water, set it on the windowsill, put an intention in that glass and get up the next morning and drink it, and I promise that everything will work out for you. However, if you would like to have more fun with that, add a crystal to that. Put a little intention, 1 or 2 words of underneath the glass while it's sitting in the windowsill. Add some lemon balm to it. Make it a tea, a lemon balm tea. I've done that, right? You can make moon water. At the end of the day, what you're really doing is creating a joyful place for you to create an intention of what it is that you want to manifest and create, what life experience you would like to have next. And when I think of it like that, I can get there. When I think I have this big dream that I want to fulfill, all of a sudden I'm stumbling all over myself, right? But when I go, what would I like to experience in my life next? And then I go, what if I did this? And then I said, yes. Why not? Right? It's amazing what happens. Trust me, I have been in the winner circle at the Kentucky Derby, standing next to Bob Costas. I have done even more crazy stuff than that. That's probably the biggest crazy thing I've ever done. But you will get there because you're open to receive it and you're wishing for it and you're letting the wish go so it can come back to you. The key is to not dwell on it. Don't wish the same wish over and over again. Your body knows you don't have it, so you're never going to get it. It's like the carrot in front of the donkey's nose, right? But if you can make the wish, set the intention, let it go, wait 2 weeks, take an assessment of where you are, release all the obstacles, because when full moons come around, I go, you just, whatever is not, I don't care, just let it go, right? Like, I don't even have, bless you, darling. I don't have any reservations about being in deep surrender. I know what I'm hanging on to, and I'm okay with letting go of anything else, right? And when I'm ready to let go of the other things that I'm hanging on to, we'll get on the same page, right? So any questions around what I just went over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so try the water thing. It's really, really, really fun. And I pulled some cards before we ever came online, and boy, let me tell you, I'm so glad to see what came out. First of all, Judgment came out, and Judgment's about resurrection. It's about coming back from things that almost killed you, right? Like literally the card, and I don't have these out because I put them back in the deck, but the card is literally people coming up out of the darkness, out of their coffins, because they're hearing the call of a new world, and that's exactly where we are right now. We also had, oh my God, the Ten of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. It's my only card with the rainbow on it, so it levels up to be the Sun card. So it's the minor card of all good things happening. And we had the Eight of Pentacles, another eight in the earthly realm. Eight of Pentacles is about what you love, doing what you love, and getting reimbursement or an equal energy exchange for doing it. So I feel like we're talking a lot about how to ground down our emotions so we can create and come back from all the shenanigans that happened in April, right? So we started out with a major eclipse season. We went through a huge Scorpio full moon. I don't know if anybody else felt that, but like I was an emotional wreck. I was crying, and I got to talk to Teresa, who's here with us, and she had a reading, and we'll tell her story in just a second because I want everybody to be on the same page. It's pretty magnificent. I gave her a reading because she was very, very emotionally up and down, and I kept saying everything's gonna be okay, just let it flow, let it flow. So if you were like spending last like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday curled up in a ball somewhere and you couldn't get your feet underneath you, that was me, right? That was probably what was going on. That was like that Scorpio full moon releasing a whole lot of trapped and trauma emotions that you've had buried down for a very long time. Who cares what they are? You don't need to know what they are. We don't need to shine a light on them. I'm not a big fan of like Western talk therapy because you have to like dig up all that stuff, and I don't think we have to do that to heal. I think we just need to know that there's something happening, right? And we need to go, oh, and let it go. Let our bodies cry. I don't know where we got it. I do know actually where we got in. Thank you to the Roman Empire. Crying is for sissies, right? That's not true. Compassion and vulnerability are the new superpowers. And when you can show up in your full compassionate self, when you can be vulnerable to other people, in front of other people, and be truly vulnerable, things will change for you right now, immediately, because that is the timeline we're in. And I'm going to give you an example. So for the first time in my 3 years of doing these big live groups over at L'Auberge, and I know a couple of you have met me there or seen me there, or that's where you've connected with me, I had somebody get triggered by a very benign sentence. I'm very benign in those for a reason. You're in that room with a whole bunch of strangers in a strange place. So we're not going to go deep unless, you know, it's just a one-on-one thing or you're with your peeps. And she was engaged, she was happy, she was jovial, all the things. And then her husband says the next day that she can't leave the room anymore. That the rest of their vacation, they were just really tied up. And I felt, they weren't even going to tell me because I've never had this before. So my people there were like, we weren't even going to say anything, but you're just here. So they were kind of letting me in. Who cares why? None of the backstory. It's all fine. But 2 nights ago, I had a dream about her. And she showed up in my dream. Like I felt like I could reach and physically touch her. So our energies were absolutely intertwined in my sleep. And I could have, I made a very conscious choice in my dream. She came at me vehemently, hurt. She was having a moment in my dream. And I said, you know, I could come at you and rip your throat out and tell you that you're a liar. Or I could meet myself where I know my truth is and see you compassionately and that you have had an experience of some sort, but can we let it go now so you can move through this? And I felt it release. I sat up in bed. Well, this morning I get an email from my direct manager they sent an apology. So we did meet in the ethers of the dream world, and she did open and release, right? So please do not, when you're in these moments, think that you cannot heal and change things in your sleep, because you can. I just did. This was somebody who's hung on to something for a week, right? So as we're moving through this next month of energies, please know it's about dreams and wishes coming true and fulfillment. It's about coming back from things because we were able to release and be in a place of surrender. And this is where I would love it if Teresa would turn on your mic and quickly, because I know you're a talker like I am, but quickly, because I have cards on the table, tell them just a brief version of what I said to you and what literally happened, what, the next day or 2 days later?
Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So I couldn't stop crying, and I've had a little bit of a nutshell. So much change in my life over the last year. And the other day, I think it was last week, I reached out to Tanya, and I said, I need a chat. I need to talk. I need some time with you. So she said, okay. So when what before that, I was curled up in a ball. I was crying, and I was just trying to figure out, why. I couldn't figure out why I was crying. I knew I was in a relationship that maybe was going to end. Just a lot of stuff, personal stuff going on here. And so I reached out to Tanya, and Tanya, when we were talking, she said, no, 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 there's really, really some great stuff that is coming up for you. And she was telling me, I just had to be open, and I needed to just like really feel it and understand it, and understand, my thought processes, and it's okay. But I was like, but I'm crying, and I'm curled up in a ball, and I'm miserable. And one of the things that she said to me, and
Quick paraphrase.
I'm trying to think of the words so I could paraphrase it. So I'm basically I'm homeless, but I'm not homeless. I have a roof over my head, and I'm trying to figure out how to get myself out of the situation. And she had told me that somebody I know, I don't really know this person, but this is somebody I do know, is going to pop into my life, but I have to be open to receive what this person is going to say to me. And it's not somebody that I really know, but it is somebody that I know through conversation or whatever it was. So she's telling me all of this, and I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Well, I shit you not. David's laughing. The very next day, I kid you not, and I was like, okay, fine. I hear you. I hear you. That's great. So the night before, I was asked, can you stay a couple hours later? I said, sure, absolutely. That about an hour later, forget it. We don't need you. Okay, fine. The next morning, I go into work, and I'm there, and my supervisor comes up and says, can you stay an extra 10 minutes? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I stay an extra 10 minutes. I'm out there like doing stuff in the lobby. I'm getting ready to leave, and I'm getting ready to clock out. David walks up.
So David's here with us, you all.
David is here with us. David
Yeah.
is one of my favorite customers from day one. We connected, we chatted, and we've always chatted, but we've never really gotten to know each other. He knows a little bit about my story. I knew a little bit about him, but that was about it. So we're just doing our usual conversation. Hey, how's it going? Where have you been? Oh, I just got back. Oh, really? Okay. Just normal conversation, like.
And then what happens?
David says,
Right, just get to the punchline because it's amazing.
David says, do you need a job? I'd like to hire you.
Oh,
No, I kid you not. And
Yeah.
I looked at him, and I'm like, I need to go clock out. I'm on Starbucks time. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. And he says, sure, okay. So David, who is technically a stranger to me for the most part, starts telling me a little about his, what he does and stuff. I kind of knew a little bit about what he did, but I didn't know a lot of what he did. And then so he's chatting and he says, "No, you know what? Come with me. I'll show you." So this is a strange man telling me to come across the street with him, and I'm not sure where he's taking me actually, because I didn't know if it was an office, but I know what's across the street. There's a high
Well,
rise.
when she was telling me this, my heart was pounding. I was like, "You did not go to a strange man's house." She's like, "No, it was okay." It's like,
I said, yeah, he may have been strange, but I sensed he was a good man.
yeah.
Anyways, so I started working with David on Monday.
And
Yesterday.
that's how magic works, right? Just like that,
Mhm.
like instantaneous. So I want to say, when I give you all readings, thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. So give me when I give readings, I want to make sure that everyone understands that I set the frequency. You just have to meet the frequency. I can't make you do that,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
When dates and people and descriptions and things come in, you can meet those. That's the intention. But someone like Terry is like wide open because she's worked with me before. And so she was in a place of surrender, so it can happen very fast for her. In fact, it was ahead of the date that I had given her. And I always say that I'm like, you can make it happen much faster.
Well,
If
I
you,
didn't make it happen much faster. That was David.
you created it, my girl. You created it. So as we're going through this evening and I'm reading cards and messages come through, if the message resonates with you, please take it. If it doesn't, it may not be for you right now, but when you re-listen to this, it might be for you then. If I read and pull a card for somebody else and you resonate with it, take it. It's for you too, okay? I'm setting the frequency for you to meet. I'm telling you what your guides want you to do and how to get there and when to get there. It's your free will on whether you meet that, okay? So as we are pulling cards, and I love it when I get sequences. So we have a 3 and a 4, right? So we've got teamwork makes the dream work with the 3 of Pentacles. So this is about working with other people. When I came in earlier and I said we're working in a community environment right now, I'm building a community. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. I can't do this alone. This is a workman, an architect, and whoever the religious person is that's building this church. This is them working as a team, helping each other create a legacy, right? To create stability for everyone around them. That's the 3. 3s are numbers of moving into new paradigms and the numbers of the archangels, okay? So if you believe in archangels or archangel energy or you work with that kind of thing, 3s is that representation, okay? And then we also have the 4 of Cups coming up. Oh, my green screen's really playing here. Look at that. Woo! Woo! Okay. So as we get to the 4 of Cups here, 4 of Cups is about, so what they're showing me is we're moving step by step through this month. Okay? Don't get in a hurry. Take your time. Your body is physically reacclimating to what it went through and released last month. This is going to be an incredibly fortuitous month. So when this card comes up, it says, do not be stubborn. Do not miss the opportunities like Terry that comes in front of you because you're over here paying attention to the 3 cups that you've already filled up. Okay? Great. You have 3 full cups. That wine's been sitting there for a while. Maybe it's a little sour, a little off, right? Maybe one of them's green juice and you didn't like green juice to begin with, so why are you even drinking it? Why are you filling your cup up with that stuff? When there's a cup that's being offered, so cups are about emotions, so it'll be a little different for all of us in the room. It might be financial for some, it might be something heartfelt for some of you. It could be that you are being offered a new home. It could be that you're being offered a new job opportunity or someone's heart, or maybe you and your mom or your dad or your sibling finally get on the same page with one another. I was wondering why they wanted me to pick lemon balm. All of these would be good lemon balm for lemon balm, right? So take your time, go step by step this month. But when you receive new opportunities, especially the ones that feel like they are out of the ethers, I would look into them very deeply because this is the month of change. We're in a 5. 5 is the number of change. And I would make sure that they were absolutely hell no's before you turn them down. So I hope you're in a year like me. I've kind of been in this part of my life for a while now, but pardon my language, it's either fuck yes or fuck no, and there's really nothing in the middle. I don't have time to fuck around with anything anymore. I'm either on board 100%, I'm running at it like with everything, or I'm not. I can't be in that gray area anymore, right? So learn what your body really wants, first of all, because that'll show up in your physical. Like you might think you want something and your physical body's vomiting, right? You probably really don't want it, okay? Right? If you have some sort of physical reaction to something that you're doing, it's probably not your thing. So when these offers come in for you, and there will be offers coming in for you, please make sure that you're at least entertaining them. I mean, live the life of why not what if, right? See if they resonate with you. Check it out. If it seems too good to be true, it's absolutely meant for you. David is a perfect example of that for Terry, right? Because he shows up and like that's the rest of that poem, by the way. Don't you know that like we only have learned the first part of it? If it's too good to be true, I think it's negative, right? There's a whole other stanza that talks about that it's absolutely meant for you. You should jump on it and do all the things. Like it's amazing to me how we get away from the reality of the rest of the stanzas that really support us and lift us, right? So maybe check into them. Say yes. And if it's not perfect when you get it, nope, let's try again. Try it again. Because this is what we're moving away from. This is the Three of Swords. And this is not a bad card at all. It just means that your mental body is overtaking what your heart wants, right? So your heart's fighting your mind in this card. So please be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to release those old negative paradigm thoughts, especially this month, so you can step into change. And then now a major arcana is going to show up. This is the Strength card. And these are your general overall energies. I'm going to start pulling individual cards in a second. So we have 4 major overall energies. And then we get a major arcana, which is the Strength card on this. Also the number 8. I love the number 8. It shows up a lot for me. It's showing up now. My guides are laughing. They're like, we're just going to give you a whole bunch more of these 8s because we're just going to keep doing it. But this is also about you getting out of your ego, okay? If you have a knee-jerk response to something, step back because your little person inside is having a moment. And it's time for you to kind of shine a light on that moment, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Ego is not a bad thing. Ego is a wonderful thing. Carl Jung would tell you to talk to your inner child, which is your ego, when you have a reaction, right? So you have the strength to make these changes, but it does require you to release old ego paradigms, right? Old world stuff, things that we see popping up all over the globe right now, right? Just broken people out there saying broken things. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, none of that's true. Like, don't listen to this. Feel in, pay attention to what's going on in the world, yes, but don't roll in it, right? Allow these new opportunities, this new energy, and these things to flow over you because you're getting ready to create a whole bunch of good stuff in the tangible world, all right? So, Kim, this one's for you, girl. And if anybody else resonates with this, it's also for you. But Kim, this is the Magician. So it's really important for you right now to start paying attention to you and only you and what it is that is going to create the you and the experience that you want to have. The Magician says you have all the tools to do it, right?
Yep.
Your holdback is that you put everybody else in front of you. You're over here pleasing everybody else, and there's no time left for you to work on the life experience that you'd like to step into. So I'm going to give you the advice my Ayurvedic practitioner gave me. There are 24 hours in a day. There's 8 hours to work and sleep. There's 8 hours to work and play, 8 hours to sleep, and 8 hours for self-care. Right? And self-care can look like many, many, many things. And I feel like in that 8 hours, you can do a little focusing on you because you're giving your power away to other people. You love them. They love you. It's wonderful. It's what you've always done. But girl, it's time because you're getting ready to step into a really magical month. He's the first major arcana. He represents all of the trials and tribulations that you go through. And these are all good things because he's got all the tools to go through them. Okay. And he's of course wearing a halo of the infinity sign, which is the number 8. Don't you love how that just shows up over and over again? Does this make sense to you? Do you know what I'm
Yes.
talking about?
I do.
Okay.
Yep, I do.
Any questions around this?
Nope.
Okay, it's time
Thank
to take
you.
action, though. You need to take action on it, okay?
Okay.
You can't sit still on that anymore.
Okay.
All right.
Can I say something very quickly?
Yes, yes.
In Kim's hair, she looks like she has the infinity symbol on her head.
She sure
She does.
does.
There it is.
I love that. You are very right. I see that too. I see that too.
That's
This
funny.
is why we have community, right? This is how we help each other. So I love doing groups because things like that get noticed. All of a sudden, look at you wearing your own halo of infinity. Isn't that fabulous? And that's how magic works, is noticing those synchronicities. Thank you. Thank you, Kathleen. That was awesome. All right, Delisa, I have one for you. Okay, so this is the 4 of Pentacles. So if you're a Capricorn, this is one of your cards. But 4s are about stability, and this is about stability in your tangible environment. And so, boy, they're showing me you've had some, ups and downs in your tangible environment, like whether it's where you live or the job that you're doing or the people that you've surrounded yourself with. These are real tangible things. This is not like the emotional body or the spiritual body. They want you to know, there's a couple of big things coming for you on this one. You are stable, so you do not have to hold on to everything like you once were. You can give yourself a little release. I'll put this over here. Give yourself a little release. It's so interesting. So I don't know if you live in a big city like a New York or an LA, but they are really highlighting what he's got going on in the background here, which is big city life. I consider this New York, but these cards would have been made before all those buildings were created. But there's an opportunity for you, or an opportunity that's being offered. It feels like a job or some sort of contract with somebody who lives in a big city, and you're going to have to go and be with them for a hot minute until you get the contract worked out and all the details. Girl, I would say yes to this. I would not look a gift horse in the mouth. Does this make sense to you? It does? Okay. Please stop. You don't have to be stingy anymore. You can be more free with like your tangible world right now. You can let that cross go, right? You can put the cross down a little bit and allow yourself to be in a place of enjoyment through May. Do you have any questions around this, or is there anything I can answer around this for you? I can't hear you, but you're okay? Everything's okay?
Yeah, no, yes, it really resonates.
Okay, I just want to make
Yes.
sure. Yeah. So when I call on you, sorry, just unmute. So if you have a little feedback or anything. So this is really good stuff, girl. This is already in play. So make sure you follow through with it. By the end of the month, it's going to be a done deal. Okay. Or sooner if you want it. Or sooner. You just never know. Maybe tomorrow I'll get an email that says, oh my God, I got off that thing with you. All right, so this card's popping out again, and it's popping out for a very specific person, Mr. Blue Cobalt. This one's for you, my friend. So this was in the pre-shuffle before I sat down with everybody in the room tonight. This is the 8 of Pentacles that I was talking about. I know Blue very, very well. We are very, very close, so this makes total sense to me. This is my Merlin card. This is the card of expertise. He's not working because he has to work. I mean, he lives in a castle back here in the back, okay? He's doing just fine. He's working because he loves it, and it comes from a place of emotional and creative stability. So, and it's the number 8. So what you're working on is getting ready to be very, very fortuitous. Lots of opportunities coming up for you in May. It does require you to really put your nose to the grindstone, though. You're going to really be working. Literally, you're going to be really putting your nose down and doing your work. Blue creates clothing, you also, of the many things that he creates, but clothing is one of them. So I have a feeling you're going to have some opportunities where you're really, really working this month. It would be really cool if you would set some good new moon intentions, because it's also the 8 card, right? And it's coming back up again for you. Does this make sense? Do you have any questions around this, darling?
No, I feel it.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We're good. I
Okay.
just want to make sure
Awesome.
that message that you got it, and it was for you, and all the things.
Yeah,
good.
very clear. Thank you.
Okay.
And the lemon balm too. Very clear message on that.
Oh,
Very
thank you.
clear.
It's, I mean, it's my be all end all, y'all. Truly,
Yeah.
truly, truly. Okay. Uh, wow, Cobra, you've got a good one coming for you. You've deserved this, my friend. And I do know a little bit about you more than I knew before. This is the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles brings in an opportunity, bringing in a message. It's bringing in a message of financial gain and support. It's bringing in a message of young, boy, they're really showing me youth, like groups of youth. So you're getting ready to resonate in a whole new level with people that are much younger than you, I think, which makes sense. I mean, I know I have a little bit of your energy because we just had a reading recently, but this is really good stuff. Now, they are really showing me this new moon's going to be important for you, that eighth. I would do a little moon ritual and get into that energy. Um, it makes sense to me because I know you a little bit. Does this make sense to you? Yes? Okay. All you have to do is wait. You don't need to take any more action on anything. Just wait. Okay? Be patient. Go do some things that are fun. Enjoy yourself. And let this come in. Okay? All right. No questions. You're good to go? Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Wow. Okay. There's a lot coming in for all y'all. Sorry. All right. Amanda. We talked about this at the beginning of this thing when I started. I hope you were here. We were talking about harvest time and working as a community, and this is the harvest card. It's the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands says, you know what? I've worked really hard on this. I made it through. I weeded the garden, and now I get to put it all in my barn and enjoy the fruits of my labor that I worked so hard on. This is incredibly fire energy, like hot, hot, hot. This feels like something you're very, very passionate about, but you're almost burnt out. Like you're almost at the end where you're feeling like, you know what? I just can't. Not one more day. I can't row another oar. I can't stitch another stitch, whatever it is, right? I can't paddle anymore. I'm done. Well, please don't, because they're telling you it's time to put it all down. Kick back a little bit. It'd be good for you to have some joy, like something that you do that is fun, kind of like Cobra, what I said to Cobra here. But this is you reaping your harvest quite significantly before the end of the month and being able to step from that into something new that is much, I mean, much more joyful for you, that actually allows you to come through that resurrection, you know, and feel good again. Like, oh, you're happy to go and do what you're doing. This feels like it's around work, or some sort of way that you're making money or you're connecting with people that allow you to have that support system. Does this make sense to you?
It does, actually. I mean, ironically, today's the fiscal year end of my year with I fundraise for a living. So yes, it does. Today's like the
Today's
close.
the day.
Like today's the day. Yeah, it was like dialing for dollars today, and now everything's come to fruition. So very apropos.
Awesome. So the
Yeah.
next thing, so the message for you now, first of all, they want you to sit back and enjoy this, please, because if you just keep hammering down, you're going to get worn out. So be in a place of joy. But this is going to leap you into something better and bigger, right? So be ready for your success because it's coming. Something around June 6th through the 10th, they're giving me a message about that.
Okay.
Oh, no problem, Delisa. Thank you so much. So be prepared for the next iteration because it feels like it's taking like a double leap. Like you're going to leap over like either whatever your financial goals were or whatever it is that you were trying to fundraise for. And you're really going to be in the thick of things. I think it's going to kind of be a lot bigger than what you think it is. So I want you to be prepared for it. Okay. Or your guides want you to be prepared for it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does. Thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome. You're welcome. LaRue,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know you did this already. So it's the Two of Swords. So this is about really making a decision on whether I'm going to do this or that, right?
Mhm.
You're very, very good at this. So, they want you to really go and I think your hypnosis will come in handy here as you go deeply into your mind, not what you're feeling. They want you to think about this
Mm,
logically, and that's typically not what I would give anybody's advice to do,
really?
especially you.
Yeah.
But they want you to
Wow.
think about this logically, like make the list, right? The bend but
Okay.
make it close, okay? And then once you make the decision, go all the way with it, like all the way to the finish line with it. Don't look back. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, actually it does.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure. Thank
okay.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Um, Andrea, good for you, girl. Whew, I like it. This is the Six of Wands. I love this card so much because I think we all deserve to be put on a pedestal. This is a victory. It is a win. It is people noticing that you have done something and patting you on the back. You're getting an award or some sort of recognition around something that is significant. I mean, this is a guy wearing a laurel wreath, and in my newsletter was all about talking about bay leaves and laurel wreaths, right? This is about you truly stepping in your power and people noticing it and you finally getting that recognition that you deserve. I normally would not say this, but I hope you gloat because you deserve it. There were some people or energies that were really not in that room with you and they didn't think that you were going to make it through this or end up where you are. And I mean gloat in the beautiful, compassionate way, but still you deserve to pat yourself on the back and allow this to happen. 6 is the number of the divine feminine, girl, so everything's come in balance for you as you just allow that compassion to be your leader, because I feel like that's what you've been doing all along, and that was part of the hiccup in the giddy up, was like, that's never going to work, you got to sweat more to get that done, and you're over here like, no you don't, no, you could just make a wish. Right? It's that kind of energy. Does this make sense for you?
Yes, it
Okay.
does. And
Any
that,
questions around this?
no,
Okay.
love
Good
that there's a horse in the card. I feel it.
Yeah, well, it's my
That's just what I put in the chat to you, Andrea. I was like, of course it's a horse. Yeah.
A horse, of course, a horse, of course. A horse, of course, is Mr. Ed, right?
Yeah. No,
hang on.
thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, and I hope that this helps you. I'm just trying to figure out how to, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to worry about it. If y'all send me a chat, I'll have to get it later because I don't have that screen open now. All right. Congratulations on your win. That's good stuff. Let me know what it is when it comes through completely and is done. David, I have a really good card for you, my friend. I have the King of Cups for you. And this is, so kings when I read, kings are the stabilizers that the queen's action took, right? So when the queens take action, the kings stabilize the queen's action, okay? So kings are stabilizers, and this is the king of emotions. He's literally on a concrete or rock throne in the middle of tumultuous waters, and he's totally fine. For you, it's your next leap to having some emotional stability is allowing yourself to have the emotions and face them head on and get stable in them, right? Which means I'm not going to be triggered by that. This feels really like nothing to do with like work or lifestyle. This really feels like emotional, like you're working through some things. I call it, generational trauma, right? And that's what we're here to do. This generation of us that are here right now. It's really good. That strength card would be a good one for you. I'm going to give you a quick exercise of what I do when things like this, I get these kind of messages, okay? Is that okay?
No, of course.
Okay. So Carl Jung would tell you the minute that you are feeling a little emotionally unstable, and it doesn't matter where you are, if you're at a public event or whatever, to go find a little place of quietude and have a short conversation with your inner 6-year-old, right? Although they're telling me it was around the age of 7.5 for you, that there was some things that came up and you're still kind of not realizing that some of the emotional blockages that you have come from that moment. he shows up to tell you it's very quick that you're going to work through these. So what I do is I go to my little girl in the bathroom, usually is where I end up if I'm in a public place, especially. And I say something like, girl, I feel you and I know you're stressing. Can I handle it as my adult self? And we'll come and have a conversation about it when I get home. Right. And then she goes, oh, okay. So you know I'm stressing and everything's okay, but I can let this go for a hot minute. And I go, yeah, yeah, yeah. 9 times out of 10, I never have to address it again. Because I just honored that little part of me, that little person part of me, by giving them an out, right? They don't have to have that experience again. I'm having an adult experience. You're getting ready to get real stable in your emotional body because you have released a lot over the last month that has been a stumbling block for you, whether you realize it or not. You have, I mean, they are showing me cells, like if you've ever looked at cells underneath a microscope that are shaking, and then now they're super calm, as if you have an aha moment this month, and it allows all of that to settle in and be released. I feel like it's done, and now you're going to be in your superpower, but you might have a little knee-jerk reaction every now and then. Does that make sense to you?
No, that makes sense.
Yes. That 7.5-year-old
So what
really,
should I do this month?
huh?
Should I sit still this month or?
No, I would be out seriously, this is not the month to sit at home and be still. And I'm one of those that loves to stay home. I would be, and if home is your joy, then obviously do that. I would really be working on your emotional joy this month. If it makes you feel good, please go do that. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. If it makes you happy, that's the ticket for this month, because it's going to solidify and help you get really, really strong and stable in your emotional body. Because what's coming up for the rest of this year is really going to be important. This is going to be very important for the rest of this year. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like there's just some people around you that you're going to let go of, and there's going to be new people that come into your life, and all of that kind of like moving through those emotions and releasing and accepting is going to be very important for you. Okay. But it's good. So go party, man. Whatever your type of partying is. Mine is staying home watching Netflix and, right? I'm not saying go out and get drunk and act like a teenager unless you want to. Does this make sense?
That does. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions around this?
No.
Okay. Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Dee, you have been waiting for this. My girl, you have the 10 of Cups. This is like, the 9 of Cups. This is my wish card. This levels up to be the star card. This is your dreams coming true. Finally, I think you've had this card before, maybe in our last reading or the reading before. It's about frickin' time. September, whatever you're planning on in September is going to be enormous for you. So make the wish now so you can have it when September rolls around, okay? Because these next few months for you are really going to be laying the groundwork and being in your power. They're really pointing out all the yellow here, which is your power center. Being in your power, so when you get into September, you're in a place of like downhill skiing. Like it's so easy, so effortless, such in a place of true joy and being present in your present, right? So you know what I'm talking about here? Do I need to go into any depth? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay.
No, pretty good. There's a lot of ninth house right energy in my chart this month too. So that the 9 makes sense. Yeah.
Totally, totally. So your cups are full, girl. They're all pouring over with really, really good stuff. And I know you've had a little bit of a hiccup over the last year or so, but you're coming out of that in a significant way. So congratulations. That's really beautiful. Really, really, really beautiful. Hi, Happy Han. I love that name. How are you? You have worked your tail off. I have weeded the garden. This is right before that 10 of Wands. Somebody else had a 10 of Wands a while ago. This is the 9 of Wands, and this is, some people call it the Wounded Warrior card, but not because the warrior is actually wounded. But because it's just exhausting when you put in this much work and you're almost at the finish line, right? Like I used to run marathons and mini marathons, and Daniel knew me back then. You've been with me a long time. And I mean, I would get a half a block from the finish line and be like, screw it, I don't need to finish. I'm fine. I know it's right there. I got to get to my car. I mean, literally, I had to have people walk me to the finish line because I just was done. This is me in a nutshell. Like, this is about as far as I can get, but without people helping me get the rest of the way. And that's the honest to God truth. And this is where you are. And if you need help to get through this next leap, because you're getting ready to harvest something major, this is not money. It's passionate, something creative, something you really enjoy, but nobody has kind of got on the uptake of it yet. They're getting ready to. Don't give up. You're almost there. Does this make sense? Yes? I mean, I'm super excited all of a sudden, like I'm like hot and I mean, I don't know what you're doing, girl, but do it, do it, do it, do it, please.
Okay, I'm working on it.
Okay? Don't
Yep.
give up now. You're very,
I'm
very,
not.
very close.
Definitely
If you-
not.
Please, if you need any support, shoot me an email or any way at all. I don't want you to walk away from this. I want you to know that you've got a win here. This is amazing.
Oh, I'm aware of that.
Okay, good, good, good. About 6 weeks. About 6 weeks. Okay, you could do it quicker. You could do it further out if you want, but about 6 weeks would be a good number. Okay?
That's true. That's a good time frame.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. So be in it. Let me know how it goes.
All right.
Daniel, my friend, my adorable human. This is the Seven of Swords, and this is about. So I happen to love this card. A lot of people don't like it. I happen to love it. So for you, it's about protecting your intellectual property. Okay. But the story of this card, they want me to tell it because it's. I feel like it's going to resonate with somebody else, but it will also resonate with you. The character on this card is done fighting. He is refusing to go to war ever again. He is over it. You bunch of stupid people. So he has thrown all of the weapons on his side into the ocean, off the cliffs into the ocean. And now he has snuck over to the enemy side and he's doing the same thing. He's getting rid of all their weapons. So now all they can do is come to fisticuffs and he can just go home because he's not going to fight with anybody anymore, right? So he's basically taken the power away by using his intellect of how to get out of this silliness, and it's protecting himself and putting him in a much better place. Okay? And sevens are new belief systems, and your belief system around what you need to protect is getting ready to change because I feel like you're going to let go of some things that you were protecting and you're going to really double down on some other things that deserve your attention more. Does that make sense?
Totally, yes.
Okay? And I would just release the things that you need to release. Just let them go. It's only going to help you. All right. And of course, when you're doubling down on the things that do help you, really get into like, how does this serve me and how does this bring me joy? Right. And if anybody, after I get done, I've got Kathleen's card to go and I've got Linda's card to go. And I think that's it. Right. Is there anybody that I've missed? Terry, did you get a card? You haven't got a card.
No.
Okay.
I'm not.
All right. I'm just making sure. I don't want to leave anybody.
Gosh darn it, where's my card?
And Lars says, don't forget me. I got you, baby. Don't worry. Lars is in the dark back here. He's recording for me. So, all right. I just want to, make sure we're working through these. So at the end, when I get done with all of these, if you want to share any of the little tidbits that are happening, please feel free to do so. That validation not only helps me, thank you, but it helps all the rest of you get into that energy as well, okay? So Kathleen, girl, I know this is true for you. You have so much opportunity ahead of you. You are going to be swimming in opportunity. This is the Seven of Cups. I'm telling you, you're going to have things come out of the blue. And I know you've already had one thing come out of the blue, but more of that is going to be happening for you. You can have all of these opportunities. You don't have to have just one, my friend. You don't have to starve anymore. You can have all your dreams and wishes. But the suggestion is to work on one at a time so you are not displacing your energy, right? Put all your energy toward one and then put all your energy toward the next one and then put all your energy toward the next one. That way you can have everything, right? I was the kid who wanted, if somebody had like at Halloween a whole bunch of candy in the basket, I wanted one of each candy. Like I didn't want just one piece of candy. So I would get really frustrated with those people who would only give me one. You can have all of it, my friend. Does this make sense?
Yeah,
Yes?
sure.
Okay.
I'll take
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm serious. Like it's coming for you. I have a feeling there's gonna be a little travel for you around July. So be
Woo.
ready, okay?
Okay.
And let me know how that goes.
Okay.
Linda, renewal, rebirth, coming back. Good for you. It's the death card. This is where I get to go. Please do not use your logic. That is not what this is about. This is about you really feeling into the things that you are letting go of so you can really come back and be in a place of joy and happiness. Okay. And I say joy and happiness a lot because I feel like it is our innate responsibility to be happy, right? And come into this life and be in a place of joy. This character is all in black and white except for him himself. He's in yellow, which is the power color, right? And he's walking through this village and he's returning it to Technicolor, what I call returning it to Technicolor. He says, you know what? We don't have to live in a black and white world anymore. We can live in color and we can be happy. So congratulations, because I can feel whatever that was. Let's just say that was. This is you coming back from that. And boy, is it, I'm just going to say this, it's going to make a few people a little upset that you are coming back so strong. And then when they finally accept it, boy, is it going to be good for all of you together. Okay, so there'll be a little hiccup. Okay, just keep doing what you're doing because they'll get on board. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, this is wonderful and big energy because it's a major arcana. So good, this is awesome. Okay,
Awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Lars, this one's for you, my darling. I know I can't see you on here, but this one's for you. This is the Hangman. So this is really about you. And I see you doing this, and we can talk about it later. What you perceive, you receive. So please change your perspective on what you are receiving. Meaning, start looking at things from a really positive point of view. Start changing your perspective so you can own your future and create it from there. Notice how his head's all lit up, and I consider you one of the most intelligent people that I know. So please, please, it's not about the physical. It's about you stepping into a new way of understanding the life that you're living. Okay, and we can talk about this when we're off of here, but I hope that makes sense. I'm sure it does because I'll clarify it later. Terry, I've been saying this to you for a very, very long time. You're an empath, and it is time for you to step into that. You are supposed to be using your emotional body to help guide you. This is intuition. She has no roof over her head. She has pomegranates all around her. When you lean in to feeling your intuition and knowing where it is taking you, the sky is the limit. The abundance will fall upon you. And I know this is happening for you right now, but I feel like it's even like it's going to double down and double down again and double. I mean, I would be betting on every long shot if I were you right now. I would make sure that my gut agrees and go for it. Okay. I mean, truly work on your intuition. This is the high priestess, and that's what she comes in to talk about. And it's not lost on me that there's a sliver of a moon here. So we're going to call her a new moon, even though, you know, they can't really depict that. I would think working with this new moon energy coming up would be very, very good for you. I would be in that. Okay.
Okay.
Anybody, any questions around that, Terry?
No, I think I got it.
Okay. Did I miss anyone? I want to make sure everybody got a card because we had a good group. And I am so sorry that we have totally ran over, and I appreciate you guys being in this with me. Before we close out, is there anything that you have questions about? Is there anything I can clarify? Would anybody like to stay? Like, if you want to go, you can go. We'll continue the recording. Please do not ever feel like I'm a Catholic nun and I'm holding you hostage in my schoolyard. I'm not. You're never going to hurt my feelings if you take care of you. But if you want to stay and share some things, please do. We can go for another 10 or 15 minutes maybe. I want to pull one nudges from the spirit deck because I feel like we could all use a little nudge from our spirit, and they are so good because I did mean to mention this at the beginning, but now I can't say that because I didn't say it. But they're surely showing it now. I was going to tell everybody to make sure you're cleaning up your personal space, like the physical stuff, because if you clean up your physical stuff, it makes way for your emotional body to have room too, okay? And of course, it says clear your space mentally and physically. So that is general guidance for all of us right now. Get in there, clear out your space. I know I've been doing the same thing. If you don't like it, it's not yours anymore. Move it on, give it to someone else. You know, donate it. Allow yourself to release so you can make room for better things. My dad used to say, take care of all the things that you really, really love and get rid of the things that are so you can have better things, right? That's how you allow that energy to exchange, right? And please, boy, this is a big one. And Dee, they're really kind of hammering on you on this one. If it's not an even energy exchange, an equal energy exchange, they've got to go. Okay? I don't know. Like, I've already done that in my life, so that message isn't for me. Okay?
Thanks. I needed that extra little tidbit. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I think that's for all of us. If you're doing all the giving, it's not for you, man. You just got to cut them loose. I'm sorry. It'll help you, though. It'll change your trajectory. Okay. If anybody would like to stay and share anything, please, the floor is open. And if you don't, and just please let me know, like via email, or I'll send out something for you. Let me know that you had a good time. I am planning on doing one of these every month. The next one will be at the end of May, and Daniel has said he will come on board and join me. And he does, he's an astrologer and a Tai Chi body movement person, and he does this incredible thing called fairy tale astrology. He's going to come and spend some time with us in the next one. Thank you, Cobra. I love you. So does anybody want to share anything or any sort of experience that they had while they were here tonight? Do you have anything that you want to say now that you would like to see in the next one? You can also just send me an email. Any of that stuff, now is the time. Please and thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. This was so beautiful. I'm very grateful for this moment.
Yeah.
And
Me
the
too.
lemon balm just was hilarious because I have adopted it just in the last couple of weeks in a very, very big way. It was suggested by somebody, and now here it is, and it's going to stay with me for eternity. So that was brilliant. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Anyone else would like to share? Bueller, I don't want to make anybody share. But it does help us all, right? But I also don't want to put anybody on the spot. So once again, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of your feedback. I will get this email up on a private link onto YouTube, and I will send it to all of you as soon as I have it rendered, because it takes forever because we're in the vortex. My computer's been crazy. And then you can rewatch and take the notes and do the things you want. I will do my best to have it up tomorrow morning-ish if I can. Lars, he's hiding in the background like, okay.
Whoops.
Yeah. And please rewatch. Even if you just do it in little segments or you just put it in your ear and let it play, you will pick up on new things. Messages will be different. They will be clearer. And Lars is telling me he just needs my YouTube login and he'll get it up right away. So hopefully we might even have it up tonight. And I will get it out into an email to all of you ASAP. So thank you. And all of you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is my dream.
Beautiful.
Making my dream come true. Please head to my website. Check out the recommendations page. You won't be disappointed. I promise.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tanya.
I love
Tanya,
you.
can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Related. Yesterday I broke a crystal, like it shattered, and I don't know. So what do I do? Like, what does it mean? What do I do with it? Like, it's like a magic Q&A, I guess. But
It's a magic Q&A.
Like, I get to see Tanya.
It's so typically, do you know what kind of crystal was it?
It's this black one.
Ooh, okay.
It's like the bottom of it, you can kind of see it like chipped off.
Yeah. Usually what that means, so crystals, so when you see inclusions in crystals, that means that they experienced some sort of event. Okay, like whether it's in the earth or whether it's in somebody's carrying it and they're having an emotional event. Uh, that one's a black crystal, which is very grounding. And I have a feeling, boy, you were really needing that. And it was just a lot of energy. And it feels like your energy cracked that crystal open. It's a good thing, it's a positive thing.
Okay.
Um, I would take the piece if it breaks off completely.
Mhm.
I would use that. I would put that in some place safe and I would cleanse it. And then I would make that something very special. Like it could be the end, like, of a wand someday. And then
Okay.
you see what I mean? So it has experienced an enormous amount of emotion. And so it's cracked apart.
Okay.
I love you too, baby girl. So does that make sense?
Yes, very
Boy,
much.
it feels like something came to culmination yesterday and it just had enough.
Yeah, I don't really know. Honestly, like I don't know what it was. Like it hasn't hit me yet, but I will hang on to it. Yeah.
You will. You will. Don't get rid of it. It's showing me, the crystal itself is showing me that if you take the whole thing, if you have a plant by your door, or if you could put a plant by your door and put it in the plant, it will love it. Like it will flourish there and it will help that plant.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it'll also protect you and keep you grounded there too. So,
Okay.
okay. All right.
Cool.
Hopefully that helps.
Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. And I'll see
Yep.
you.
Awesome.
Love to the fam.
Okay. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.